What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. And, well, you could say, welcome to the first online race on F1 2018. It's going to take me a while, obviously, to get used to saying F1 2018 instead of F1 2017 that I've been doing in the past. But this is technically, it's not, we'll point out, this is not the start of the league racing season. Well, not technically anyway. This is a social race that was put together by AOR. Most of the Oceania guys that raced last season, we all decided to get together to try out a 100% qualifying and race. Well, mainly more the 100% race side anyway, but we're doing full qualifying and 100% race. Now this took place over 2 nights, so we did the full qualifying on the Saturday nights, and then we did the 100% race on the Sunday night. So it worked out for everybody, as you can see, running very wide on at turn two, I think it is. I'll get the corner names right as we go along, because this is the first time around Paul Ricard anyway. And funnily enough, this is actually the first track I drove on F1 2018. So I'm actually glad that the guys at the social race was decided to race around this track anyway. But here we go, setting off for first run. Not the greatest of starts to invalidate my lap time coming out of turn 2, but I think just looking back at it, went so deep into turn 1. But Warden sets the fastest lap for the time being. I can't really remember how quick he was at the time. I think it was like a 130 point something or other. Now DLG Gamble goes to the top. Another fellow league racer, if you remember from all my F2 races, is that Matt now goes to the top. Now he's actually my teammate for this weekend as well. So we didn't quite have a full lobby throughout this qualifying session. A few guys couldn't quite make it, but they will turn up for the race. So anyway, I had to, like I said, I had to do second run on the ultra soft tyres. This was always going to be the plan anyway, just to do 2 runs if I completely stuffed up big time here. But just ran a little bit wide at turn 3, sort of compromised my line into 4 and 5. So not the greatest of runs, I'll admit, but it is Q1. I was more focusing on trying to get through Q1 and into Q2. Now this weird little chicane bit here, I probably will mention it in a few fastest laps from me a bit later on, but
I think we may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes.
Now that was a critical one there from Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, as always. Thankfully, he is working in F1 2018. Thank God for that, because you couldn't hear a damn thing. All I could hear was, well, I could hear him, but for everybody watching on my channel, you pretty much could not hear him at all. So thankfully he is working. But we come across the line and we set a 130.558, which put us in P5, which I felt it wasn't too bad a lap anyway to be up there far. We do drop eventually down to P6, so I decided to let Master Berserk go there, because he was also on a flyer. And you can see another car who's on a flyer. Now, you're probably wondering right now, if you saw it there, with that Ferrari, why the hell there are 2 Master Berserks. Well, there was a weird little glitch throughout this lobby, including into what was into Sunday as well. But it was just weird for some unknown reason. I will point out, the actual Master Berserk is in, the real one is in a Force India. The other one, so-called Master Berserk, is actually Chincha.
Yet, but it is coming. Be careful.
And yes, that was, like I said, that was also critical. And yeah, also somehow got kicked out. There was no warning at all. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Nice work from Codemasters as always. I had no connection issues at all. I originally thought it did, but I still was hearing the party chat, so everything was fine. I think my teammate got caught up in that as well. There's a zombie having a little spin there, coming out. Where is that? Just out of the first couple of corners, I think. But yeah, what was I saying now? I can't really remember. So, but anyway, there's not much time left, and the rain did start to fall down a little bit, as you can see now. Tiamat Marduk is way down in 16th place. I was a bit surprised he wasn't further up the grid. And I sort of was toing and froing for the last few minutes what to actually do. And I think Ben didn't actually improve on that lap and starts to crash into the wall and his tyre completely flies off there. So, yeah, but what I was saying also, the Master Berserk in the Ferrari is actually Chimchar, and the real one is in the Force India. Just want to clarify that for everyone. But a few guys got caught out in the wet weather. We'll give a little bit of, what's the wording I'm looking for? Oh, we do get XP as well. That's the first online part I've done anyway. But there you go. That's the results from Q1. So Greek Master qualifies at first. My teammate up in P5, myself in P9. The guys knocked out. Teammate Mardek, BrockDoesStuff, and HO. It's a little bit surprising there, but to be fair, HO said it himself, I think on his Twitter profile, I should say, that he didn't have any practice at all. So, I mean, that's fair enough. You can understand that. He's probably a busy guy at the moment as well. So, anyway, go on to Q2. And, of course, like Jeff mentioned a lot, the rain had definitely come now. No idea where the hell Zombie was going. He's literally going all over the shot here. But this is actually my first, would you believe, first wet weather session on this game as well. So it's good to test it out how I go in the wet and also in the dry. But the Zombie's really struggling a lot in these wet weather conditions. He literally got in by the skin of his teeth. I can't remember the exact margin, but it was really, really tight for him to get into Q2, but he managed to do so. But the question was whether the rain was going to stick around for the entirety of the session here. So I decided to let Dominator go through there. I think you'll probably hear, no, maybe not. But yeah, the slating, you might hear it a bit later on. There's a message from Jeff. But anyway, just getting a feel for the wet weather conditions. And you can see here, just sort of backing myself up just to get a bit of fresh air. I think the majority of us are trying to do that because it is a bit difficult to find a lot of fresh air, and just tell I was struggling to get on the power a little bit coming out of the final corner there. But anyway, going down into turn one, literally did not know where to brake. But first couple of corners felt okay, and a little bit of an oversteer moment. But I think this next section up here in turn three, just going probably a little bit too deep, or just get on the brakes a little too early. But now he's a weather report.
Should be stopping anytime soon. We should see a dry line start to form fairly rapidly, so make sure to cool your tyres down the straights. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So thank you again to Jeff. But he did say that the rain is starting to ease up a little bit here. But for the moment, I am still continuing on at the inters. And again, running wide through a turn three. New Zealand Ryan now goes to the top with a 42 in the 1 minute 42s anyway. But the key there was there is definitely dry weather coming. But
looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
And it was literally getting close, I can guarantee you that much. But continued on with my second lap anyway. But get on the power a little bit too early, coming through the double right-hander return 11, and obviously spun the car, which wasn't ideal, I'll admit. Felt like I was on track for a pretty good lap time, but yeah, that didn't really help my cause. So thankfully I did fill up for about, it was about 3 or 4 laps, I think, from memory. You guys and girls will probably be able to see it on the bottom right of your screen. Now, I'm still getting used to the newish graphics, you could say, on the F1 2018 game, especially, like I said, the one in the bottom right-hand corner, because as you'll be able to tell, the front wing part is on a different page. But going through sector one, I actually went purple, which sort of really surprised me there. And with all the practice I was doing, I was sort of quick in the first sector, but not quite as quick in the second or third sector here. But coming up to, can't see who that traffic is, but going a little bit too wide and actually invalidate my lap time there. I think it was, who is it? That's the Haas, of the laggy person who was probably getting out of the road there. But yeah, that wasn't ideal. I mean, the lap time was not brilliant. Let's be honest. I am completely way down the grid. But anyway, decided to come back straight into the lane, and that noise, that's where the noise you hear when the cars come into the pit lane entry. That is literally so annoying. I don't know why the hell they did it, but Team Radio?
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:51.8.
So like I said, not the best lap anyway, but the next question was, what tyres do you start on? Because whatever tyre you start on, you qualify in Q2, that is your race, the tyre you'll be starting the race on.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes' time. Rain in 10 minutes.
And obviously the rain, again, is making a comeback as well. So we pretty much had to go out there. Well, I pretty much decided to go out pretty quickly here, and I feel like the car for at least a couple of laps, because probably takes a little bit of time to get the super softs working here. But I think some majority of us may be starting on the super soft tyres, we're trying to get away with the one stop, because we literally, I don't think any of us know what the heck we're doing with race strategy wise. But that's Chimchar, not the real Master Berserk, because he's still down in P11 and he hasn't moved. So that is actually the Chimchar, who's now gone to the top. So the dryers are really starting to come into their own here. But it went on like I said, this is my first fly here. Wasn't the best, and that's the real Master Berserk going off the road there. I'm not sure whether he was really struggling with the track conditions or not, but now Harry Ryan has retired from the session. I think he was about, what was he, about P3, or maybe able to see here. Chimchar, I should say. I'll get that wrong a couple of times, I dare say, but he's retired from the session. But go over to P3. Like I said, Harry's in P4 and Dominator in P2. But I didn't feel comfortable with that first lap time, because if I pretty much decided to bail out and not do a second run, I probably would not make it through to Q3. So I decided to continue on just to have another crack and get me through, especially to Q3. But Sector 1 was not the best at times, but I know that I probably make up a lot of time in Sector 3 especially. So we probably will see in the top left as well. I will drop down the totem pole a little bit as we continue on through the lap. But now continuing on to the back straight, we'll probably show you a full lap of Paul Ricard, and probably in the next section if we do make it. So again, not fastest through, not the best sector through sector 2 there as well. But here come the fast right-handers there. That's we set a 131, 153 as well, by the way. So I knew there was improvements around here. Now coming through the difficult turn 12, where I was just struggling so much, because you literally have no idea where the hell to brake. Now, I probably will mention it in the hot lap if we go to get through to Q3, but I'm really dropping down through the placings here. But come across the line now, currently in P11. We're going to get through to Q3. We may do. We're currently in P8, and I don't think anybody else improved as we get a bit more XP. They have changed it up a little bit. You get safety ratings in online especially. So, and yes, we just scrape in P8. And again, Chimchar was the fastest. But there's, what is there, 1, 2, 3. So at least 3 guys starting on the Ultras, that being Chimchar, Jarrett, and Gamble. Everybody else in a 10 starting on super soft tyres, but the guys that have been knocked out is my teammate, is that Matt, Neon Tridome, Harry Ryan, Master Berserk, and Exodona. They're the guys knocked out 11 to 15, so their spots are pretty much secure. I wonder if Harry's probably regretting retiring a bit early in the session, but he's going to have a free choice of tyres for the race. But now go into Q3. Now, like Jeff's mentioned, there is rain coming, so I think majority of us decided to just go out and have a crack anyway to get the lap time in, just in case the rain does come.
5 minutes until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
So yeah, literally it's not far away, so probably can get one, maybe 2 laps if you stuff up the first run anyway. But let's see what we can do here. Coming off the final corner there on this long straight here. Sizing up turn 1 here. As the pit lane comes out. It's going to be an awkward pit lane come the race, I will admit. But through turn 1, felt okay. But it's nearly, oh, not quite exactly what I did in Q1, but I take a little bit too much curb and cut it, and that was pretty much a little lap time ruined. So I had to really go for another lap there. That looked like Warden using a lot of track limits there. So Laggy for the time being goes provisional pole. So now we can all pretty much go all out here to try and see what we can qualify, as that was or Warden's getting out of the road. But let's go for a hot lap with myself around Paul Ricard. So now into turn 1, hit about the 50-metre board. Again, try not to cut that corner and try not to run wide. I was breathing a sigh of relief, I can tell you, out of the exit of turn 2, just so I can't go wide there and get an invalidation. But now through turn 3 and 4, now into 5. This is sort of a little tricky section here now. 6. Run it very wide here now through turn 7. Now this long back straight begins. Get DRS. Using the ERS system as well in F1 2018. So you'll be able to see we are using the hot lap in qualifying. We'll change it up, obviously, for the races especially. You'll have to check that out anyway. But through that chicane where you can easily screw yourself up, because literally you do not know which way you're going half the time. And a few guys got screwed up there. But now through turn 10, flat attack through here. And that is a great feeling. Now the double right-hander here at turn 11. This is a tricky one because you don't know how far wide you have to go. I probably could have gone a little bit wider coming through that corner, but I ran a little bit wide. Now turn 12 where I struggled a little bit. I dare say maybe a few guys may have struggled as well. Now through to turn 14. Get a nice run through here into 15. This is a tricky one here to get right, but it felt okay. Not the best, but let's see where this puts us coming across the line. We go to P4.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Yeah, and the rain, like Jeff's mentioned, I've mentioned a couple of times, we're going to brag on a lot about it. The rain was coming, but a 129.914, which puts us in P4, just behind Laggy, but look at that, ahead of New Zealand Ryan. Which, I've got to be honest, I was completely shocked about that one. As you can see, the first few raindrops starting to come down now, but there's probably a few guys that haven't set competitive lap times. They're probably going to be screwed now, but just in case it decided to dry up, I put on another set of ultra soft tyres just to make sure, but you're probably going to be seeing now on the field the onboards that I think the weather is really starting to take full effect here, and there are still a few glitches in this game. I think we were probably testing out the odd glitch as well, just to see what it was like, and we're probably going to, and obviously we're testing out the safety car as well in this online part, because in F1 2017 it sort of worked, but by the bit of the start of the ASR season, and that was a bit awkward because I did not know where to go. I probably could have had enough room there. Got out of the road there. That was DRC Jared, who I think possibly was on a hot lap here, but you'll be able to see now he's actually spun the car. So I think the wet weather conditions are starting to take full effect here, but I must admit, it was really worth a shot here just to maybe try and see whether I could gain a few positions here, but I think there was a little issue as well with some of the guys that got maybe kicked out of the lobby as well, or just decided to leave anyway. But going through to turn 1, and you could tell it just ran wide, and yeah, that's pretty much qualifying done and dusted now. So, and guy that's really got caught out here is actually Warden, who's down in P10. He hasn't even set a competitive lap time, like I mentioned, but he was still keen on trying everything, and literally trying everything. He's probably going to have a few slides around here, especially through that double right-hander at turn 11. And don't ask me about those stripes, because literally a few people have been saying that it looks disgusting. It probably does. Now DRS is disabled, and obviously Warden has spun at turn 12 and decides to take that little bit of extension road there. But really, I think Warden was just having a little bit of fun here, just sliding the car around. And again, coming through that last couple of corners there. But he does have he's testing out his his start methods as well for on this game, because you don't really know what the starting methods are like, because they're so different compared to the last game. But yeah, that was qualifying done and dusted. So in the end, we will see show the full results in a second once we get through it all. The Zombie leaves the session. So Greek Master takes pole position ahead of Dominator in second. Laggy and myself on the second row of the grid. New Zealand Ryan and Chimchar, so both the Ferraris in 5th and 6th. Gamble in 7th. DRC Jarrett 8th. Zombie 9th. And Warden rounding out the top 10. So this is going to be an interesting race. And there are a few guys that are going to be coming back to the grid. So anyway, we get to the race, looking fine for the whole race. So this is literally the first time I've actually done a 100% race. A few guys did a 100% race back in SRL, which was the social race at the end of the SRL season last year. But strategy-wise, they did put me on the 2-stop here. But I was keen to get onto the 1-stop anyway. So we were pretty much all set then for the first race on the online part on F1 2018. 5 red lights, and let's do it around Paul Ricard, and it's an absolute terrible start there. New Zealand Ryan's actually got a ripper start, and so has Chimchar. Here come both the Ferrari boys, so effectively they've swapped myself and Laggy, who are sort of, you could say, in the Ferrari B and C teams, respectively, but was under a little bit of attack there from Warden behind, as I was literally getting swamped, as I pretty much just had no practice going into the race. I probably should have had a bit of practice going into it, because that was an absolute shocking start. But it is so difficult in these cars as well, because they have changed up a little bit compared to 2017 as well. So let's see what we do here on this long back straight here. Just trying to get the slipstream from the guys in front. Laggy trying to get some from Chimchar there. I'll try not to make the mistake that Chimchar's Master Reserve, but there goes Warden, who's had a shocking run through that turn 8-9 section there. So he's dropped a couple of spots now. So now through this fast right-hander. Jarrett's got a heap of speed in that Mercedes car, but I completely screw up turn 11, and there he goes up the inside now. So that's dropped me back down to P7, so not the greatest of starts, but probably get a little bit put off there by Jarrett's braking there, because, well, literally I did not know where to brake. So now that's allowed Warden now up into P7. So now I'm just trying to get into a rhythm here, because it is a long race. We don't need to do anything silly, especially. So it's obviously double the race distance compared to what the normal league race would be. Now we've got Harry Ryan in the Toro Rosso, who's on the ultra soft tyres. I would have thought he maybe start on maybe the super softs or even the softs, but that's Harry's decision, obviously. But of course he started outside the top 10. But just trying to follow, like I said, trying to get into a rhythm and follow these guys up in front, Warden and DRC Jarrett. I will point out as well that I think this is the first race that Warden is running without the racing line, because for the upcoming AOR season, the top tier, you pretty much have no assists. They allowed the racing line the last couple of seasons, but this season upcoming, they're not allowed anything. And if you have the racing line, you're probably going to have to be dropped back to maybe F2 or something. But again, not the greatest of runs through turn 12. Harry having a look up the inside there at 14 there, but didn't quite have a gun. Now he's trying to go around the outside here. I thought I'd push him off a little bit here, but in the end I left him a lot of space, because he goes around the outside now, and I think he's going to get P8 off me. Got side by side here, but just going through the ERS settings there. The key one is probably to use overtake modes on those long straights, as there's my first penalty for this race. But yeah, for these slower corners around here, you probably want to use low or none around here, but long straights, like I said, use overtake mode. Hot lap mode just doesn't do anything, but get a good run here on Harry now into turn 8. Going to try it around the outside, but no, Harry hangs on for now. We've got to clear him as quickly as we can, because DLG Gamble's not far behind as well in P10. So I've really dropped back a couple of spots here, but not getting overly excited here, because, like I said, long race, still a long way to go. It's only lap 3 of 53 laps around this joint, and Looks like Warden up in front's putting a bit of pressure here on DRC Jarrett ahead. It's allowing Harry and myself to gain, and probably the guys behind. I think Tim Marnik's probably made a few spots as well, because he started way back in, what was it, 16th, I believe it was. I think he's already made some spots, but let's see Warden going around the outside of Jarrett, who has a little slide coming out of turn 1 and 2. And he's still sliding, and he's off the road. Is DSC Jarrett, and now that's his race compromised, unfortunately. Looked like he had pretty good speed as well in that Mercedes car. I did forget to mention as well, there was a spinner at on the first lap, but yeah, I completely forgot about that one. But we will see a few replays here, and actually Warden's running very wide here through this double right-hander at turn 11, so this is allowing Harry and myself to gain on him here. Starting to drop back a little bit, but there's a spinner. That's Dominator who's had a spin. That's a very unusual spot there for Dom, but I don't know how he's lost the front wing there. I'm still a little bit surprised on how he did, because there's literally no wall, so whether he's come in contact with the car or not, we'll have to maybe wait and see. Now that's dropped him way back down the field here, and there he goes, Harry up the inside now on Warden for what is that, P6? P5. Now Warden's coming back here, up the inside he goes. Harry didn't have the greatest of runs out of turn 2. And now he goes through, move, does he? No, Harry holds on for now. This is obviously allowing me to join this battle group here. I know the key spot, or the key moment here, is probably to get a good run on this long back straight using full overtake mode in the ERS and full rich mix here, just to try and get a slipstream here. Here goes Warden trying to make a comeback here on Harry. This is allowing me to gain with their slipstream here. Harry goes in deep, just holds on to the position for now, but let's see if we get a good run here out of turn 9. Warden still going side by side here with Harry, who's doing the defensive line here, but look at the speed we've got here compared to Warden. I'm not sure what the ERS settings he must have had on, but it's really dropped back. We go up the inside there at turn 10, and now we've finally got it done. Had to slot all the way back down to 7th gear then through turn 10, because I wasn't sure whether to take it flat with 2 cars. I know in the real life F1, I think 2 cars have gone through there before, but I wasn't too sure on online. So, but that was an awesome move, I must say, going right around the outside, going for the inside. There was a little bit of contact there with Warden, I think, but he's still all over my tail here, and he's brought a few mates along with him as well. He's probably going to have a look here into turn 1 here. So leaving the room, going into turn 1. Just give him enough room. I thought he was going to have a good run there, but just didn't quite have enough. So we hold on for now. There's a battle going on ahead of us as well. It's Laggy on Chimchar in the Ferrari. Chimchar trying to make a move back up the inside here into turn 4. It's not turn 4, it's turn 6 and into 7 section there. Like I said, I'm still learning the Paul Ricard circuit here, but just look at us. Everybody's just trying to get the slipstream as best they can, because it's literally so OP in this game. It is a lot of fun. You can easily catch a car very quickly. Now Chimchar's really starting to struggle, I think, on those ultra soft tyres. Of course, he started the race on those tyres, I believe. Maybe not. Yeah, he actually did. I forgot he did qualify in Q2. Have a look up the inside here at the double right-hander. I'm actually going to make a move. Weir's a bit close between us two. Harry's cleared away. Go right around the outside here, but on the dirty line, it doesn't really help my cause. Now Warden's coming back here around the outside into turn 14, but nothing really doing there. So we're going to see if we get a good run here on the Chimchar, but it's so difficult to get past in that final corner, because I didn't want to slam into the side of Chimchar there and get front wing damage, because, as I said, it's a long race. There's still a lot of laps to go, but look at the slipstream we're getting here on Chimchar into turn 1. Have to go for a late move. We go back all the way into 3rd gear, but somehow getting the move done, and that's put us back up into P6 or P5, one of the two. I think it's P5, but there is a lot of battling going on, I'll admit, and it's only lap 7. I mean, it is a 100% race, I get it, but that was awesome, I must admit. Maybe not so for a few of the guys, but I feel pretty awesome watching all those battles and literally battling there as well. It all looks like Tim Amarnik's coming through the field as well. He's now right behind me, P6. Let's have a look at the replays of the start on board with Neon Tridome. My teammate absolutely went nowhere. Now, whether he got a little bit put off with the lights or something, like with his internet connection, because he had a terrible start, but you see Harry going right on the outside. There's a little bit of a battle going on there. Oh, that explains why Neon's pretty much going over to the other side of the track, and it does reset here, thank God for that. But looked like Gamble and Zombie maybe got together there. Gamble was very wide out of the first couple of corners there, but there's a few debris going all over the place. Someone's gone well off the track here. Brock's literally going to go, and that probably was his fault there, I think. Probably got a little bit over anxious there, probably did not, maybe a little bit put off with the braking of Ben especially, but lap 2 there, and then you see this is on board with Pomps. We didn't actually take part in qualifying, but it did in the race, but there's a few of the incidents he's had so far, so obviously bit of desync with my teammate, obviously, then as he put in his words, a bullshit penalty for passing DRC Jared, which I didn't see the issue of, but then obviously getting front wing damage. But here's Jared trying to make his way back through the field here on BrockDoesStuff here at turn 10. He's getting a little bit too close, and there's contact between the both of them. That's given Jared a bit of front wing damage, and that's spun Brock. Here's a replay on board with Brock. Yeah, hard to say there, really. It could have been desync. I'm not really sure, but that's going to cost these guys a lot of time here. But back we go to my point of view on lap 8. That was a silly, honestly, a silly corner cut there through turn 1 there. But here we go again, getting a nice slipstream here on Harry. Going to go right around the outside here. It's going to make us go the long way here. Literally slide the car, but have a moment there, and I felt this is the necessary to give Harry the spot back, but all that drama, I've now given a spot away to Tim Amarnik, who's now, as I said, he's made his way through the field now up into what is he now, P4, battling side by side with Harry Ryan. Now Warden, again, having a look up the inside here. Going into turn 11, he's going to go side by side with me, and now obviously Ben's now cleared all of us here, but I think Harry's probably starting to struggle on those ultra soft tyres, because the guys on super softs are starting to feel probably a little bit more comfortable with their tyre wear. But on the side here, this is not really a passing spot around the outside, but nearly do what Harry did to me early on in the early laps, but didn't have obviously the greatest of runs here. But look at the slipstream we're getting here. This is good for Warren as well. Look up the inside we go. Give us the room there, but Harry gives us a little bit of a squeeze there. It was a little bit silly, I'll admit, but it's allowed Warden and now DLG Gamble to go up the inside, and there's contact. And now I've been shoved off here, and now I've just got to find a spot here where I can just give the spot back. I'll literally come out side by side with the real Master Berserk. Now I've made contact with him as well. Now going side by side with DLG Gamble. I didn't like what happened a couple of corners back, but now going slipstream here on Master Berserk for P7 and get it done as well. No, not really, my bad. The big lock up big time there, and I now have to decided to try to slot back into a groove position here. I felt like it was probably going to be behind DLG Gamble, because Master Berserk's now dropped behind my teammate, is that Matt, who's now put himself up into P9. It's just so hard to see the graphics in the screen previews as well, so and now just slide, get back into a rhythm again and just chase down DLG Gamble. Now, obviously, the tyre wear wasn't too bad. A little look up the inside there at turn 14, but wasn't really much doing there. Got a little bit put off as well. Zombie's now out of the race. I think he's had a few skirmishes at the first couple of corners. The first couple of laps, I should say. Now Matt's going to probably go have a look on the inside, does he? But break a little bit early. I think that's put Matt off a little bit. And he's gone well off the road there. And I did apologise to Matt about that because we were in the same party chat. And there was pretty much nothing I could do there. It was just braking a bit early because of DLG Gamble. But slowly starting to gain on him again down this back straight into turn 8 and 9. Harry's now started to come back into the traps as well of Gamble. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now. As actually both of them now come into the lane, so they obviously feel that their ultras are pretty much dead now. It'd probably be a long stretch. They could get away with the one stop, but they're going to be on a long while with those soft tyres. But that's given us a bit of fresh air to deal with. But I've got my teammate, obviously Matt, behind me. So I think the next question was, when do we pit? And you can see now New Zealand Ryan's actually come into the lane. And he's gone very early on the soft tyres now.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being.
Yeah, look.
Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
No, thank you, Jeff. There's, you probably could tell it did start to get a little bit overcast here, and we were sort of thinking, is there rain on the horizon? But there wasn't really much on the race strategy, especially so for rain-wise. But you never know with the Codemasters game. Rain could literally pop up in a second, and there goes Matt around the outside through into turn 8, and I pretty much decided to give him the spot. Let him have a bit of fun for a few laps, just settle back in, probably build up my battery a little bit in these slow corners. But
we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy. You have 4 laps till your pit window opens.
Yeah, I literally had to ask Jeff, when the heck do I come in? Because I didn't actually properly see on the race strategy screen of when I had to come in. But got slipstream again on my teammate. Go around the outside. Just going to squeeze around him, give each other space. Still giving each other space even after that chicane. But now we're still going to go side by side here. This fast flying turn 10 where it didn't work out obviously for Jared and Brock. We get the move done. Yes, we do. But Matt's still there. And now he goes straight back up the inside there at turn 11. That was a great move. They're pretty much swapping positions now for P5 and 6 as the guys just in front are starting to pull away a bit, especially like Warden and who else was there? Ben as well. They're starting to pull away, but again making a move on Matt into the chicane on lap 15, I think it is. Now, it won't be too long, I don't think, before New Zealand Ryan catches us.
Stop to go. One stop left in this strategy. Your pit window opens.
And again, I was still asking Jeff when the pit strategy was, because the tyres didn't feel too bad, I'll admit. So now again, Matt's having a look here at the inside of turn, that double right-hander there, but didn't quite have the good run coming out of there. So pretty much all settled back into a rhythm now. And now onto lap 16 we go here. Matt's probably going to have a little bit of a run here. Oh no, sorry, my bad. New Zealand Ryan's actually got past my teammate, so I decided to put it back, the ERS back to none, and just decided to let Ryan go through because we're pretty much not racing him here. He's already come in for the soft tyres. Wasn't sure whether he was going to go like all the way to the end or whether he was doing a 2-stop, because he came in, what was it, like 4 laps or something, back on lap 16 anyway. But now get to lap 17 and it's now time to pit. Now, it is a little tricky to get into the pit lane there because you have to go right very quickly, and nearly like Monaco, you would say, we're getting down to the speed limit. But we're pretty much all on our own here, I think. So let's see how the pit stop's like.
Release.
Nice stop from the Sauber boys, and I love the sounds that they have for the guns. They are a big improvement, especially on F1 2017. But here we come back onto the racing line. Like I said, the pit lane pretty much feeds out onto the racing line, so we've got plenty of fresh air up our sleeve here. So we're back down in, where are we, 14th I think we are. As now, you can see now Ryan sets the fast lap of the race, so he's definitely got pace in this race. So yeah, like I said, we're pretty much on our own here. Now's the goal here, was just pretty much get the tyre straight to the end here. Now, Laggy's come into the lane here as well. Or over that, he's been in the lane for probably a little bit longer than normal, and he's actually still stuck in the pit lane, which is a bit weird, I must admit. So here's a replay on board with Laggy. Now, he's still coming into the pits, normal, as you do. I think possibly Warden's come in as well. Let's see how this pit stop goes. And another set of, well, there's another set of super soft tyres, but he literally can't go anywhere. He's stuck in the pit lane. You can see now I had to actually fast forward this footage because literally he cannot go anywhere. He's literally trying everything he can to get out of the pit lane. Warden's already gone in and out, obviously. No dramas there, but he's doing everything, just going through every single gear just to try and leave. But nice glitch as always from Codemasters, because Laggy's pretty much not going anywhere for the rest of this race, which is a real shame because he did show some good pace early in this race, and he was looking good for maybe a good race result as well. But he's on a fast lap now. Unfortunately, he's had to retire as well, so you know, I really feel bad for Laggy.
Okay, clear.
That's a real shame there. That's a big glitch there. We didn't see many of it back in 2017, but in 2018 especially, it's still there. So now we're going to move on the inside of Neon Trito. Got the move done pretty easily going before the chicane. Just managed to get through there. Now let's put stuff into P12. Next up's Harry Ryan in P11. He's already come in for the soft tyres. He came in way early, like lap 10 or 11, I think it was. But you see there, lap 21. Set the fastest first sector. Like I said, very surprised about that one. There's a few more guys coming into the lane. There's exit owner and my teammate now come in, so going to move us up a few spots. Neon was on the super soft tyres. I'm not sure exactly if he's been on those for a good while, but next up, like I said, it's Harry in the Toro Rosso. So pretty much nearly going to do the exact same thing what we did with Neon, except this one's probably going to be a little bit difficult now. Let's see if we can get this move done like we couldn't do a few laps earlier. Slide it up the inside there, and I think we've now got it done. Like I said, Harry's been on those tyres for a little bit longer than myself, so we've got a little bit more fresher rubber. But now we're just pretty much on our own here in P9, I believe it is. But what else we got now? Just pretty much there's another quarter cutting penalty there, and I think there was another drama with one at the other Haas, which is actually Pomps to the win. So he's crashed in coming into the pits. Like I said, it is a difficult pit lane. That's there he is. He's just coming in for another set of what is he putting on? Ultra soft tires. Has to change the front wing, but he's not going anywhere. He's got the exact same glitch that his teammate has. Well, to be fair, it probably is still an issue because I think, what was it, Fens had that same issue back with after Greek Master retired back in AOR in Japan. Fens had the exact same thing, but he eventually got going, but it took him a lot longer than normal. But now you can see even the pit crew have pretty much decided that they've had enough, and well, they decided to pretty much leave in the pit lane, and he can't go anywhere. He's just stuck there. So yeah, and another one who's had to retire because of a stupid glitch. Nice work as always, Codemasters. So yeah, it's a real shame. Hopefully no other guys get caught up with pit lane glitches, but you see now we're starting to catch up to the real Master Berserk, who's been on the super soft tyres. I can't remember what tyres he started on. He may have gone for a different strategy, maybe because he qualified outside the top 10, but or otherwise he's going longer on those super soft tyres. But now just trying to get a good slipstream here. Just look at this. Look at that. It is just awesome slipstream there, and just managed to get it through turn 8 and 9. And that's put us up in P7. Now, I don't know whether Berserk actually lifted out of the throttle there or not, but he's a little bit further behind, but now up in the P7. Next up is Dominator on the soft tyres, and we run very wide there through turn 11, but just managed to hold on. But Dominator's obviously been on those soft tyres, I believe, since he crashed. But actually, as we speak of him, he's actually now into the line, into the lane for another set of possibly maybe super soft tyres. I'm not really sure, but DLG Gamble's now come in as well, so that's put us up into P5. Not sure who's left to pit. I think majority of us are pit. Possibly could be Chimchar, the only one that's left, but yeah, starting to struggle a little bit on these tyres, not gonna lie. Around that, what was it, the left hand, not the right hand to turn 5, but again have a massive moment. Missed my braking marker big time here. I had to slow down big time here just to avoid getting a penalty, but well, that didn't really work out, did it? And well, I did slow down enough anyway to get the gap a bit closer to what it was with myself and Matt, but yeah, pretty much us two are on our own here in P4 and 5. So good results from the Salvo boys, but now running very wide coming out of the final corner. This has just given Matt a big incentive now to go up into P4. On lap 37 we now go on to, so obviously that's another warning there.
9.1 seconds.
It's DLG Gamble's on the super soft tyres now. He started on the ultra soft tyres. Now, possibly could go for another set of super soft tyres, but it's going to be hard because I think he's got that Ferrari of Chimchar right on his tail as Harry sets the fastest up the race. So I'm not really sure what actually happened with Harry, whether he just couldn't get the soft tyres to the end or couldn't get them to work. But yeah, that's a real shame for Harry. That's yeah, just slipstreaming pretty much behind Matt for the time being. Now, I literally did that for about a few laps. There's BrockDoesStuff, who's already lapped the car, and he's just decided to get out of the road there. And I think you'll be able to see now he's actually retired from the session, so he's pretty much had enough. Nothing really he can do from being a lap down anyway, but yeah, literally from about, I think it was, like I said, lap 37 onwards, the slipstream with Matt. There's a replay of DSC Jarrett. He just got past Neon Tridome coming in through turn 1. Now he's chasing after Exodona, so it's a sort of a recovery mission. This is not an easy passing spot around the outside there at turn, the inside of turn 5. Now the next bit here is trying to get a good run here on through turn 7. He'll pop it up into overtake and get DRS, so just have a heap of slipstream here. Pulls the slide. Exodona's going for a little bit of a shove there. And they're still shoving each other, and that's just put Jarrett off big time there. Gives a penalty for corner cutting, but may have given Exodona front wing damage, I'm not sure, but this is literally still going on here. This locks up now Exodona through turn 12, was it? And not the greatest of runs either, but let's see what Jarrett can do in the final couple of corners here. This is not really a passing spot here, unless you can make it work, but he goes up the inside and gets the move done. But let's see if Exodona comes back here. He's right on his tail, right on the gearbox, literally. Jarrett's got to cover him into turn 1 here. Does a crisscross and he goes up the inside there. They leave room. Now coming through turn. Oh, there's contact and he spun. Wow, Neon was pretty lucky to get away with that, but those guys have pretty much come together. They've probably lost a heap of time now anyway, but what are we on? Lap 43. I think that this was possibly my fastest lap of the race today, 1:34.3 from memory. But today's Matt having a little bit of a moment coming through the fast right-handers. But yeah, like I was mentioning, I was pretty much just slipstreaming behind Matt from laps 37 on roughly, where we are now, 40, start lap 45. But it was allowing Chimchar behind to gain a lot of time, and especially now because he is on the much quicker rubber compared to both of us, because can't remember what he started. I think Chimchar was started on the ultra soft tyres, but I knew it wasn't going to be too long before he was going to pass us, so decided to go for an outside move around Matt, but he holds on for the time being through that chicane. And there's still got Chimchar behind us. He runs a little bit wide. I've literally no idea where the hell he was going there. I always thought he was literally going for the move here, but now coming through that fast right-hander there. Probably going to have a look at the inside here, but we actually get a little tag there from Chimchar there, and well, to be honest, I wasn't really too happy about that, because I mean, literally, I would have been happy for a Chimchar to have passed me down the front straight here, but it was pretty much nearly like a bump and run, but I have no idea where the hell he was going there, but yeah, Chimchar did apologise to me afterwards. There's a bit of battling going on up the front there with Chimchar and my teammate Matt. There's a little bit of cars pushing each other off there, but Chimchar's still putting pressure on Matt, and I don't think he was too happy about that, because he's literally weaving all over the place there. But yeah, like I was mentioning, Chimchar did apologise because he went down one gear too many and just lost the car, and well, the rest is history, obviously, which I was fine with anyway. So Jarrett's now retired from the race. He's obviously spun out. Where was it? Just before turn 3, I think it was. But now I think Chimchar's now possibly going around the outside here, so make another silly error going through turn 1 now. Now he's got the move finally done on Matt. Now, like I said, Chimchar's got a hell of a lot of pace. I was actually surprised with the amount of pace he had in this race. So look out for Chimchar in the league racing season on F1 2018. But now starting to gain a little bit more on Matt, who I think was starting to struggle a little bit with tyres. Even though he did come in a few laps later than myself, I think he was starting to struggle a little bit. Now I've got a good run here on Matt up the inside before turn 10 actually, and they get the move done. So that's now put us into P5, but only issue with myself is as Matt runs a little bit wide actually, but only issue I had was I have a lot of penalties compared to Chimchar and Matt especially, so I think I do ask Jeff about it a bit later on, but there was the yellow flag behind, and I think Matt and Gamble have actually come together there. I don't think Matt really had something to do with that. Whether desync was an issue, I'm not sure. We don't have really much footage to show you, but now Exodona's been disqualified. So that's the first disqualification on F1 2018 online, especially on my side. But he'll have a few mates, I think, because Warden's now been disqualified. So his first race on without the racing line's not gone to plan. And I think Master Berserk has also joined as well. So not great for those guys. But yeah, pretty much I was on my own here now, and there was a bit of a gap behind to Matt anyway, but Chimchar's pretty much pulled away now, as you'll be able to hear.
The car ahead is 9.2 seconds. You're dropping back by around 1.4 seconds. They're on old super softs. Their tyres are 19 laps old. Their time last lap was a 1 minute 33.6. They have a time penalty of 9.0.
So now we're basically coming across the final corner now. It is going to be P5 on track, but I think, like I said, the penalties I think really cost me, because I will drop down the on the top left there, well, especially now anyway, but I think in the end I only lost a couple of spots, because there comes Gamble in P8. I only lost a couple of spots, so in the end, Greek Master pretty much dominated this whole race. you'll be able to see the full gaps in a moment. But it was him and then New Zealand Ryan and Chimchar on the podium. Now, both Ryan and Ben actually battled a little bit, and they probably got a little bit worried that Chimchar was starting to close in. So, but I think Ben had too many penalties compared to Chimchar, and yeah, there you go. There's the full results. So that, I think it was about 21 seconds where the penalties that really cost me in the end. So yeah, it wasn't ideal, but Greek dominated. He finished a minute ahead of New Zealand Ryan. Obviously, Chimchar, not Master Berserk, Chimchar in P3, Ben in P4, my teammate in P5. Dominator, good recovery, coming 6th, myself in 7th, Gamble 8th, Harry in 9th, and Neon Tridome ran out to 10. And then pretty much the rest of them were either DNFs or disqualifications. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that 100% social race around France. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button. You can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more league racing content on F1 2018, which will be coming up very shortly. I'll probably leave links down below because both AOR and SRL have got their sign-ups now open. So if you want to come join for the Sunday nights in AOR and for SRL on the Friday nights, especially in the Oceania Asia Pacific region, you can. So I'll leave the links down below. Obviously TOR, when this recording has been going out, is already started their season, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. So also all my social media links are down in the description as always. But for the moment, guys and girls, until, well, the next time, anyway, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.